Welcome guys to another medieval battle with Midnight Games Online. Today we have a special battle for you guys. It is a 5-star battle and a historical battle, the epic battle of Agincourt. So we have the English taking on the French in a pitched battle. This is the start of the 15th century, so the late Middle Ages. What more can you ask for, guys? For those of you that want to fast forward to the start of the battle itself, just click the link in the description below, or rather the timestamp in the description below, and you'll be taken right to the start of the battle. For the rest of you guys who want to see what these armies are made of, we're going to go through the army compositions right now. So first of all, this army here is the English army, and we are actually looking at Henry V, who was present here in this battle. And so this is the first of the 3 English armies. This is a 3-on-3 land battle, late era. This army is commanded by Knox, and this is his general. It's Henry V, and we do see him right in the center here with the crown on his head. So that's the unit for Henry V. Here we see some English foot knights beside him, and this is their commander here with the single-handed sword, very nice shield, colors of England here. And these guys, most of the rest of them are carrying two-handed weapons. We see a second and a third unit of these English foot knights, the dismounted English foot knights here, wearing 15th century armor. And Knox also has in his ranks here, he's got sergeants of the late era, so we see them here. That's 2, 3, 4 units of those sergeants. He brings some mercenary Welsh spearmen, a little bit worse armor here, wearing 14th century armor. Those are some medium spears. And then he does have 2 units of pole arms here. These are the billmen here, heavy billmen. And these are the yeomen of the guard. Kind of stuck between these 2 units there. And in his front rank, he does bring some retinue longbows. We see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the retinue longbows, actually 4 of them, and one of this yeoman of the guard longbow version. So that is the army of Knox. Actually, he also has some cav here in the woods. These are the English knights,
The enemy draws near.
Late era, or wearing 15th century armor. So we see 3 units of those hidden in the woods. Now moving on to the 2nd English army. This army is commanded by myself, and I have, as my general, since we already have Henry V of the royal line on the battlefield, I have a general's bodyguard with 15th century armored knights here as the general for my forces. My cav is also hidden in the woods here. English knights 1, 2, and 3. Now for some reason Knox is taking his cavalry out of the woods, even though the French are nowhere close yet, and he sort of revealed that we had cav here, although I think that might have been a little obvious based on their lack of cav on the field. Here we do see heavy billmen for my own army, and it looks like 2 units of heavy billmen wearing the 15th century armor. More English foot knights here with a little experience point added, and again here is their captain, the arming sword. The 2nd and the 3rd unit of the foot knights here. Now my first line of infantry here are these late era heavy spear infantry of England. Nice big spears there, or shields and spears. And we do have 5 of those. And retinue longbows. We have, looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 5 retinue longbows as well. So that is my army. And we have one more ally also playing England. And that is Josmond's. So Josmond's is over here. He also brings the general's bodyguard. Those are the knights of the bodyguard. He also brings 3 late era English foot knights, or foot knights wearing the 15th century armor, and he brings, I see 1 spear unit here, a 2nd spear unit here. He brings a nice mix of infantry And then he's got 2 sergeants in the middle here of the late era. And he brings 2 units of heavy billmen. And it looks like retinue longbows. Some of these were Knox's line ends. Yeah, 5 retinue longbows, and then he does bring the English knights as well. And 3 units of the mounted English knights. So it is 3 cav plus general per team. Now flying over to the other side, now the French. Here we go, the Kingdom of France. This was played by Letholdus to represent the fact that they did have more infantry, more cavalry, excuse me, in this battle. They're going to get 4 plus the general. And here we have the infamous gendarmes. We've got 3 units of the gendarmes and a 4th unit of just absolutely elite heavy shot cavalry for the French here. He brings the dismounted French knights. Here we get a quick look at them. Just a gorgeous looking unit here with their captain, straight edge sword, single-handed sword with the straight blade. A unit of sergeants. He's got some Scottish Guard and 30 company archers here, as well as 2 late era crossbows. So a bit less on the missiles, but a bit more on the cav for the French players. We mentioned the Pavie spears here, 3 units of those. And then of the French knights, I see 2 of them. And that sergeant unit here. And then a 3rd French knight unit there, and another sergeant unit there. So that's it for the army of Letholdus controlling the Kingdom of France. Moving on to the next French player, it is Beowulf 45. He's controlling the Duchy of Burgundy. So here are the gendarmes of Burgundy. And he brings 2 units over here that I see, and another 2 units over here, as well as the Duke's bodyguard, the Duke of Burgundy. And we see him here with the golden helm and the mace. So that is his cav and his general. He does bring some dismounted knights of Burgundy. We see them here. A little mace on this captain of the foot knight unit. And 4 units of Pavie spears, as well as ordnance longbows. So he's got 3 units of those and a ducal household longbowman. So these are the ducal household longbows, and these are the ordnance longbows. So that is the army of Beowulf, the 3rd French player. Now we have, quickly before the action starts, the army of the last French player. That is Tom with the Duchy of Lorraine. So he does bring some Frank archers, 1, 2, 3, 4. They are wearing the light 15th or the medium 15th century armor for bowmen. He's got some Pavie spears, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is how they look. Very cool unit with some cool designs on those. Mercenary Swiss halberds. These are going to be tough to get off the field if used correctly. And in the back he has some heavy shock infantry, the men-at-arms of Lorraine. And here is their captain with a single-handed sword and the golden helm, open-faced helm. And he does bring dismounted, unit of late dismounted foot knights too. So Lorraine is nice in the fact that they have this that does not count as a shock infantry. So he kind of sneaks an extra one in there. And there is their commander with a giant looking warhammer and a medium melee infantry unit there as well. And that is it for the army compositions, guys. So we're right in time for this battle. The English have formed up here. The French have advanced. We have on the right flank the Josmins with the King of England, Knox holding the middle with Henry V here, and on the left we do have myself holding the left flank here. So now they have found us in the woods, so I'm pulling my units into better formation. It looks like Beowulf here, was it Beowulf with the Duchy of Lorraine? No, that's Tom with the Duchy of Lorraine. Has really ridden around the edge here and try to flush these woods out to make sure there's nothing else hiding here. So he's here with all of his cav. We also have Beowulf's gendarmes here, 2 units it looks like. So that's 7 units of cavalry here. All of Tom's cavalry, all of the Lorraine cav, and 2 units of the Burgundian cav. But they were more on a scouting mission it looks like, because they appear to be pulling back. And these ordnance longbows have got to be pretty close to full range here, and almost in firing range. I meanwhile set up my billman here to sort of block this flank because of this overloading of cavalry that I see. And over here we do have Josmins with the right flank of the army here of the Kingdom of England, facing off against Litholdus with the Kingdom of France, who has more cav than him, and he is loading up here with the gendarmes. And now these French archers from Burgundy are moving up. And it looks like Burgundy is sending 1 more cav unit to that far left flank. And here's a charge by Lorraine, but they do pull back as the English knights fall back. And now we do have the first shafts here
Should we aid them?
being loosed in this battle. And my archers responding here. The retinue longbows firing back. So the first shafts are in the air here, guys, for this battle. And Beowulf careful to guard his archers here with some cavalry. And now Knox sending his archers, giving them their leave to fire. And more retinue longbows are firing into the French archers. Now this will not go well for the French because we do have 1 extra missile unit per, and Beowulf's archers are being targeted by 2 groups of archers now, whereas his ally here, Tom, I believe it was, with the Duchy of Lorraine, yes, Tom, is still out of missile range. And already we see men falling down here, and 1 unit wavering, taking bad casualties.
Refuses to admit defeat.
Already down to 43 out of 98 men. So for Beowulf, this has not gone well. And here we see some fire arrows from Knox trying to break the morale of this weakened unit. And he does. That unit is off the field. And my archers here with 40 kills and no deaths, because it appears that Knox is taking the hits here with these 7 deaths on his men over here. But 35 kills and 43 kills for the retinue longbows, just making short work of the French archers. Knox already targeting a 2nd unit with fire arrows to try to get them off the field, because they've suffered a lot of deaths, 30 deaths from the regular arrows already, from both his men and my men, and his men with 11 and 13 kills over there. So far the battle looking well for the English, but this is only really the first taste of battle. And now we do see a trap sprung by 2 units who were in the woods here against Knox's English knights, and they do catch them. They do catch them. And the swords come out once the lances crash into the English. And we have a battle. And Knox shaken and attacked in the rear here with this 1 unit of his knights. So these English knights caught and wavering and have lost, it looks like 18 men already. 20 men down out of 60. So Knox being caught here. So the French respond with a small victory of their own after the English have done very well against the archers of Burgundy here in the center. And this unit does break and has lost almost half of its unit. But it looks like they don't want to chase it too far because they know our cav is right here. In the meantime, we have more fire arrows here, taking out this last unit. The retinue longbow is just racking up kills here. No one's firing at them, but they get to fire away. This unit with 81 kills, and the second unit with 41 kills. Beowulf's archers have actually caused this unit of Knox to waver, killing 60 men, 62 men. But they have 14, and all of these little 14, 18, 19, these are adding up here. And Burgundy is getting 2-on-1, and he has less archers to begin with than either of us. So his second unit is about to break. He does manage to break one of Knox's archers, though. So there is, it wasn't a complete waste.
Return to the battle.
And Knox's unit has rallied here with 34 men left. So the French may be letting up a tad early, and he does realize it's back and pulls it into safety. Just the threat of all this cav, our cav in the woods, has caused problems for him. And we do have one unit here of Tom's bows that have, oh wait, never mind. Tom has all 5 of his here. All right, so it's Knox here that is adding more men and firing away. Beowulf's unit is breaking here, 36 kills but broken, 43 kills but broken. And this unit with 30 kills and wavering now. And Knox's unit being broken and taken off the field. So one of the English units off the field now. Lethold is seemingly firing away with these crossbows and taking out some of Knox's archers as well from the side. So good work here by Letholdus with the Kingdom of France, killing 23 of these men. But it looks like the Burgundy's archers are on their last legs here, guys. They only managed to kill one unit and they lost. It looks like they're about to lose all 4 of their own. Letholdus with 12 and 30 kills here on his crossbow. So the missile war going well for England, but France doing some damage. the French side, I should say. France and Burgundy. Meanwhile, the Cav has gone the way of, so far has gone the way of the French. And Lorraine not getting their archers involved yet at all, but they are moving one unit up here on the side. Perhaps to flush out the Cav. We will see what happens here. They can't quite see the Cav through all that, like we can. That little hidden symbol means it is hidden through the woods, so they sort of got in range of this unit and pulled back. And we do see a charge here from Burgundy, Duchy of Burgundy with the charge, trying to catch some of these archers out. And they do catch a few, but they crash right into the spears. So very, very aggressive move here by Beowulf, but wow, he really caught these units, and in loose formation they take extra damage. The units of Knox here, retinue longbows with with a lot of deaths at this point. Some of them were caused by the crossbows. My knights trying to chase them, the English knights, but the gendarmes have got away. So they lost 9, looks like 10 men in that charge, but they killed 72 of these archers and actually some of these sergeants in the front row too. Looks like about 10 sergeants died, and the rest, the 62, were all archers. So Beowulf with the Duchy of Burgundy with a very nice charge here, and he caught, I think that was Knox. Yes, he caught Knox sleeping a little bit and slipping here, perhaps focused on the left flank. So that was a very nice hit. And it looks like these archers of the Duchy of Lorraine are now shelling some of these units here. These English knights are taking fire. And I have peeled off some of my archer units here. These units that have not really gotten involved yet to take on Lorraine's archers. But it looks like he's pushing up a 4th unit, so my men will be outnumbered unless I send over more. And there I am, sending over the next one. Now these retinue longbows, I mean, they helped take out the Burgundian archers, and they have 123 kills, but they're almost out of ammo. They've earned a chevron in the process. This unit with 42 kills has about half ammo, so it looks like I might need to be sending more units over. So we'll see what happens now. And now a unit of spears being pushed up by the Duchy of Lorraine. Josmond's here and his 3 English knight units are facing down these units of Lorraine, of the Kingdom of France, Letholdis. Letholdis's archers have done their best here, but they are outgunned by the English archers. There's more of them, and they are outgunned. 15 kills with, looks like, 50 deaths. 15 kills with, well, only 12 deaths here. And then these crossbows doing better, I think, because they were firing at a unit that wasn't paying attention to them as much. And 21 kills here, 46 kills here with very minimal deaths. Now his gendarmes taking some fire here, though, from the retinue longbows. So, with their shields up, but we see those arrows flitting in here. So this is more like what the French knights had to deal with at Agincourt. A lot of English arrows. Speaking of English arrows, we have more of them flying over from this side. A 4-on-3 here. Lorraine has smartly sort of isolated the archers, and they may be targeting the billmen too. One of these heavy billmen already being felled by arrow fire. And it looks like a charge is happening here. And the elite French cavalry have charged directly into these English knights. Letholdis here maneuvering his cav around and hammering Josmond's English knights here from 2 sides with his gendarmes here to help out his 1st unit. And now the 2 generals are facing off. The general's bodyguard is going to take on the Roi de France, and here's the charge. And we see men going down on both sides, and there is the King of France with his sword out, taking on the Knights of the English bodyguard, the general's bodyguard. And now we see an infantry unit here of English foot knights being thrown in, so the Roi de France is going to try to pull out. This general's bodyguard won't let him. He's charging him. The French are trying to throw in their own men. But the Roi de France is going to be hard-pressed to escape here. He did not want to take on a 2-on-1 fight here. And we do have a gendarme unit trying to help him, trying to take out this general's bodyguard. And will he be hit by them? Yes, he will. An awkward charge, but he does hit this unit. So the general's bodyguard here being hit by the gendarmes, and the Roi de France considering, and yes, trying to get back in here. And now the general's bodyguard trying to flee. They've been attacked already. They're losing men. And perhaps the dagger from the gendarmes hitting into him and also into this mass of men. He's down to 15 men. Wow, so both generals severely weakened. The Roi de France also down to 15 men. And the English knight unit chasing the gendarmes here. The French knights have wrecked this spear unit, and just an insane cav battle developing here. But on this side, we also have the cavalry getting involved. And great charges here by Lorraine. And it looks like some English foot knights are going to be thrown into this giant battle. And the English foot has almost reached the Knights of Lorraine. The foot knights of England. And there they go. And they are battling with the Knights of Lorraine. So this cav here surrounded. The French king safe for now. 10 men left in this general's bodyguard of Josselyn's. He will not use those anymore unless he wants them to die. And this cav basically destroying itself. So kind of a stalemate on this side between France and England, between Josselyn's and Lotolvis. Now the general's bodyguard circling here for England. And the House Guard of Anjou, the general of Lorraine being thrown in. That is Tom's general. We have the shock infantry taking on the pole arms here. The shock infantry of Lorraine taking on my pole arms here of England. And now we have this unit who has completed a flanking maneuver and trying to go for some hammer on anvil, wrecking some spear or some shields there, and slamming into some of these knights from the French side. And that is going to cause the Pavie spears to waver, as well as the Knights of Lorraine here. Now we do have a rally cry as well from my general, giving some troops some morale. So that won't quite finish them though. And we do have the House Guard of Anjou here circling. And the general's bodyguard is going to chase them and cause them to break. So they are hunting them down. And I think I see their general here. That might be him. And they broke it. So he lives, but they do break. And then one more time with the general again. There's going to be a charge right into the rear of these French forces a second time. And that is going to just absolutely destroy what's left of Lorraine's camp. The English knights have taken casualties too, guys, but they were not charged in the rear. So they're going to win this engagement here, while my infantry is not doing so well. English knights here taking on the shock infantry of Lorraine in a brutal, brutal slugfest. And mayhem breaking out here. Swiss halberds have caught some retinue longbowmen out and are fighting them and the spears. We have the Knights of Burgundy here from Beowulf just gutting some archers.
The general has fallen.
And we have another general dead. And that would be the Roi de France, actually, it looks like, right here. Yes, the one man that died here was the king. So the Roi de France off the field, the General of Lorraine off the field, we have this general and those are two on the French side. We have this general for some reason being thrown in against dismounted French knights. I don't see that going well for him. I think this is him here.
Our allies' general has fallen.
Yes, and he is down now as well. So the French knights have slain one of the English generals, the dismounted French knights. And here's Litholdus with a great charge into retinue longbows and devastating this unit entirely here. So Litholdus doing well on his flank, both players losing a general, but the French seem to be winning this right flank. It looks like Lorraine has been almost entirely wiped out, and that's what's left of a small shock unit, and they have been wiped out on this left flank here, and I still have a fair amount of cav left and infantry. Their general is dead, so Lorraine losing the right flank, but the Kingdom of France winning the left flank.
Enemy units have returned to the battle.
And the center, sort of a close free-for-all, and we are still waiting for Henry V to get involved, being held back in reserve with some of the English knights. Now Beowulf here, really the last hope, along with what's left of Litholdus' army. He has charged in against this English foot unit from the back, what's left of his general knight unit, and they are going to cause that unit to break. So Beowulf and whatever's left of Litholdus here going to have to take on Knox and myself. Josman's mostly wiped out as well, throwing in the last of his foot knights here in a desperate attempt. Brawling with the French knights. But they won't be doing well. And Knox pulling back to my location here as we try to reform lines. So Henry V has pulled back with one of his reserve units here. This unit actually already partially wounded, having lost 23 men and killing 10. Pulling back here behind Knox's heavy billman and my spear wall. And I do have some polearms too that I'm setting up, as well as some English foot knights. These may be tired, but they only have 4 deaths and 73 kills. These with 9 deaths and 90 kills, so some good numbers on my shock. This unit had 92 kills, but lost more than half the unit. And a great charge here from Burgundy. Fantastic charge by Beowulf and with his general too against these English knights. Now I am trying to flank around, and unfortunately my ally is pulling out, but I am going in for the charge. So that is one charge, and here's a second one against the general, the Duke of Burgundy, who is now surrounded. Let's enjoy cinematic view, guys. The Knights of Burgundy taking on the Knights of England here.
Our ally flees the field. Ill news indeed.
And some gendarmes trying to surround us and save this Duke, but my spears have pushed up and are trying to take out the gendarmes here. And it looks like the Duke of Burgundy is going to break. So the third general on the French side is going to break and be off the field now. The English have lost 1 general so far, and that was Josman's general, who was killed by Litholdus with the Kingdom of France. We still have 2. My general's bodyguard here at close to full strength, and then Henry V, who is at full strength right here. Now the cav battle's still raging here. These English knights of Knox are going to be taken off the field, but my English knights are going to be doing some flanking here. And that's going to finish off these Knights of Burgundy. We do see the commander fall. Now Litholdus, however, still having some of the bodyguard left for the Roi de France, and his victorious army is going to try to take us out. As we can see though, the French side with just over 750 men, the English side with about 1,000 men more, 1,700. Now the French are taking out, and this is Beowulf's knights, they are taking out some of these retinue longbows here hand to hand. But my infantry will be thrown in. And it looks like Henry V is going to charge as well. So the pole arms here for England, taken on the Scottish Guard and actually being rammed into by French knights. Billman taking on the French knights here, guys. And the English foot knights here are looking at charging into the Scottish Guard. And some nice kills there. Meanwhile, it looks like Henry V is charging, and let's take a look at how he's going to do. He's charging into a spear unit here, trying to break through those big shields, but his men are doing well. Henry and his men are doing very well here. Crunching through the shield wall is Henry V. And now Litholdus' general, because the wall was already dead, he is broken in the face of all of this cav that's coming his way. And it looks like, just like in real life, the English side will win the Battle of Agincourt. So let's take a look if we have any stats, guys, for this battle. And yes, we do. So we'll quickly go over some of the post-battle statistics this time. We'll start with the Army of Night. Yours truly here, commanding England. My general's bodyguard with 97 kills, only a few deaths, and I do believe we got Lorraine's general off the field with this unit. So good work on this unit here. This English Knight unit maybe not so hot, because 92 kills is not bad, but most of the unit was killed. 79 kills here, but this unit is still alive. So I was very happy with these two units. 136 kills, and most of the men still alive here too. My spear is doing a little worse. This unit, for example, wiped out with 12 kills, only 5 over here. Now the Billmen doing really well, 110, 166, although both units on their last legs at the end of the battle. And you gotta love the English retinue longbows here, just a massive amount of damage. 85, 90, 98, 112, and 217 here. Some of these units taken off the field though. The English cavalry mostly taken on cavalry of France and the French duchies. So they were in very tough to get any kills. These two units wiped out, 26 and 45. This unit was 60 kills and still alive at the end. I would say was my best one, but you need to want to have better numbers on your cav than this. So a little disappointing cav game by myself here. Josmond's here. His general killed. He was the only English general that died, but 59 kills here. So, you know, he did take his pound of flesh, and I believe he killed many men of the King of France's bodyguard too in that. His shock infantry doing well, 95, 91, and 157, but all of them taken off the field, as was his entire army. And you rarely see that. Sometimes you'll have a unit break that's still full health, but all of his army seems to have been slaughtered. He's got 2 spears here with low kills. This heavy billman unit doing well. His sergeants, very poor numbers. His archers with decent numbers all around. He doesn't really have that, one unit that kind of lets you down. They're all in that 50 range. Well, here's one with 25, but 57, 56 here, so pretty good numbers. And his cav kind of hot and cold. 91 here, which is great. 29 here, which is not so great. So Josmond's playing lining up against a very veteran player in Litholdus, though. So he was in tough against a very tough opponent. And then we have Knox here holding the center. And we do see Henry V with 41 kills there, mostly against a heavy spearman unit that he fought at the end. And I'm not sure that Henry took any casualties in this battle. He was kind of held in reserve, and then he was thrown in, and he slaughtered, he cut through about half of a spear unit, and then they broke, and then the battle ended. So that's how you're supposed to use your general. Don't try to, kill him right at the start, and then your army loses morale. Try to save him if you can for that key moment, which Knox definitely did. His late foot knights here, 10 kills, but most of this unit's alive. And then these two units wiped out, but taking a good number of kills here, 83 and 116. A spear unit here that was wearing earlier era armor, I think it was 14th century armor, did not do well. And then his billmen, heavy bills with a great number here and a kind of a poor number here, but this unit is alive. His swords, underwhelming. The sergeants of England seemingly just cut to pieces by the French knights in this battle. His retinue longbows, with some decent numbers here, 68 and 37, but also some poor numbers. His yeomen of the guard, though, excellent game from them, 79 kills and pretty much full health at the end of the battle. And then look at his cav. I mean, what can you say? 1 kill here. I mean, that's disappointing. But then 245 and 174. These are the types of numbers you want with your cav in a game, especially if you're on the winning side. So great cav game by Knox, all things considered, especially since he didn't even have a cav general. Again, Henry V, probably the general with the most men left at the end and 41 kills. Jocelyn's general died, and it looks like my general did lead our team with 97 kills. Beowulf's general here with 24 kills. He was the last surviving general on the French side, but he also broke and was taken off the field. Now, Beowulf's dismounted knights here, the Knights of Burgundy, the foot knights, did extremely well. 176 kills, 84, and 263 kills. I mean, that is phenomenal numbers in a land battle for shock infantry, because normally they are outgunned by cavalry on a land battle, but they did very well here. The Ducal household, the pole arms here, 170 kills. So just phenomenal use of pole arms and shock infantry by Beowulf. His spears, 51, 56, some decent numbers here. And his archers, again, were isolated at the beginning. I would say that that was a mistake. Looking back, he should have worked with his teammates a little better. I'm not sure why they didn't support each other. I know Litholdus tried to support him with crossbows, but that seemed to be like too little too late. And Lorraine didn't get involved in all. They kind of pulled their bows completely to the left side and left these Burgundian archers, alone to die in the center. But some of them with a decent number of kills, 43 and 36. But then you see, I mean, this unit here with only 8 kills, that is, very unfortunate. But Beowulf did make up for it with some excellent cav play here. 211 kills here, 182 here, and they've earned a bunch of chevrons doing so. So very good cav play for Beo, very good use of polearms, and very good use of his shock infantry. Then we have Tom here with the Duchy of Lorraine. His general with 68 kills, so pretty good numbers, but in the end was killed on the field. Very good use of the shock infantry, 163 kills here. And I didn't see this, 27, so a little bit worse here. But overall, I would still say that's nearly 200 kills combined. So it's about 190 kills, so pretty good use of the shock. So he's got some spears here. They did not do very well. His polearms, okay, 45 kills, not bad. His swords, good numbers here, 55. And then you want to see more out of this unit. This is an elite sword unit, probably the most elite non-shock infantry unit on the field. And only 13 kills here, so they cost a lot of money, these dismounted Knights of Lorraine. So you do want to get more bang for your buck. His archers as well, not the best numbers here, 21, 10, 8. But he does make up for it with some good cav play here, 131 kills here. And then a little worse numbers on the bottom here, 22, 28. So overall, Tom, not a bad game. Had some highlights here with cav and with shock infantry and even with his general. But in the end, I mean, our team worked better as a team and took them off the field. And then we come to Litholdus here, 76 kills for the Roi de France. I think that's the most on his team for the general. Yes, it is. And possibly second only to myself. Very, very good game with the Roi de France. We saw him involved numerous times here, taking on another general who ended up dying. taking on units from the back that were pinned. So very good game from the Roi de France, 76 kills. And his shock infantry here with phenomenal numbers, 320 kills, 224, 141 kills. I mean, this is huge, guys. This is why Litholdus won his flank against Josmins, is because of this shock infantry here. And then we see his spears. They're going to do a little worse here. Spears don't really rack up the kills. They more just hold the enemy in position. But 45 kills with this unit, who is clearly still alive at the end of the battle, is pretty impressive. And that brings us to his swords. Worse numbers here on the sergeants. This unit may still have had a little bit left at the end when his army broke. And then his archers here, his crossbows with very good numbers, 105 and 53, and both still alive. His Scottish Guard, not bad, and then his other French archer unit, a little bit worse numbers. And then his cav, I mean, this is not great numbers for cav, but they were fighting other cav, so respectable here with 56 and 48. This unit you would like to see more of. They're a very expensive unit and only 29 kills. But Litholdus did well on his flank. He just didn't have enough left to take on what was left, which was Henry V and most of my army. So again, our team with just a little bit more cohesion, which I'm happy with, because number one, we won, and number two, we kind of got to see the real result here of the Battle of Agincourt, which was an English victory. I hope you guys enjoyed the battle, and we'll have more of these coming up with Midnight Games Online. Thanks for tuning in.